Basically here, all we've got to do, again, just relax, hit our farm. That's your game plan. That's the MO as Xerath. Other rune page that we could have taken outside of Comet, we can also explore First Strike in the future for the scaling. That's something else that we could think about.
Am I shoving into her? Am I queuing the wave?
No, you're facing a Maokai jungle. Very high tempo jungler. Your job is to clear waves and survive right now.
So ward at 230.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, we don't really want to push up too fast at all versus this guy, because Maokai is pretty nuts right now and can gank you pretty easily.
Well, I think it's gonna push to me.
Yeah. Well, if she queues, you'll be in good shape. Now, your mission this game is to really just destroy farming. Like, I want you treating every minion like it's fucking life or death. You understand? Like, every minion has to be gotten. I would rather you emphasize that than anything else. Because if there's one thing I know about Xerath from playing it over the years, it's that if you hit farm and don't die, you can drag a game out for an eternity every fucking game. And that's what Xerath's about, is just making a game drag forever. Because if you can get to level 16, your ult can remove people from out of their vision.
Yep.
So I want you to remember that. I'm going to say it again. Level 16, your ult removes people from out of vision. That's your goal. Like, we're happy to play a 30-minute game. You should want to play 30-minute tower defenses, Xerath. Okay?
Okay. And I think that's...
Try to slow this down a bit. Try to slow this wave down a bit next time. Letting a big wave crash. Go ahead and W it real quick. It's getting too big too fast. Yeah.
And I'm not focusing. I feel bad. Missing both of those.
As long as
I am not focusing on hitting any poke on her.
I don't care about her. I really don't. Because you're not going to be able to leverage it anyways. That's a good position to hold the wave. Akali roaming, ping it. You got to ping Hecarim that she's missing. I mean, she can't kill him, but... Okay, Akali is going for Hecarim. Camera. Yeah,
he's dead completely.
Not much you can do about that.
Lux is fairly low down bottom. I'm gonna try to do that.
Try to start shoving while getting the farm as best you can.
Wow. That's a lot of damage real fast.
Yeah, keep autoing. Yep, keep autoing. I mean, if you don't get the wave to move, we're never going to be able to get off of this position. Back up, don't tank it. You can't tank it. You can't tank it. It won't work. We've got to manage that W a little bit more smartly so that we get the farm. Now, Q, shove.
And she's bumped.
You better keep autoing. You're getting stuck with no mana right now. Like, you've got to realize that if you don't commit to shoving, we're going to get stuck here. W the wave and run away.
Still die.
Yeah, you're hesitating and you're not realizing that. Go ahead and grab the... I would just grab book and mana. We need more mana. You're not realizing that by hesitating on your autos, you're getting us stuck there, right? You're going to have to push. When you have to push, you'll never get off of this position.
Okay.
Right? She's just going to keep pushing you in over and over again.
I was extremely afraid of...
I mean, yeah, but it's going to get worse and worse and worse unless you make a stand then. Do you see what I mean?
Yep, makes sense.
All right, let's hard push. Charge your Q up now. She's roaming. W the backline. Hurry up. W the backline. You got to get rid of it. Now you can run down river and look for an ult real quick. Look for an ult real quick. See if it makes sense. Okay, push, hit plates. There's no kill there.
That might be.
Now, does Akali have teleport or what? She's walking, so shove the wave with WQ. So WQ. All right, we're leaving now. Goodbye. Back
Press
up
B.
and then look for a ult to top or bottom. Okay, no ult there. What about top? Let's look top. Camera on it.
I'm just walking to him, I think, for an EWQ.
Yeah, maybe. What the fuck? Run. You're gonna die too.
I can flash over.
Yeah, we're probably
I mean, it's silver.
take a reset. What the fuck is that? Why the Mordekaiser just standing there, bro?
I think he's getting tilted from Hecarim.
I mean, he tilted himself though. He could have outplayed the Aatrox, but he gave up. NA players are weak mental. Let's get back to mid.
Do you think I shouldn't have walked up there? Just like our range? and then
You
walk
probably, I mean, at that point, we're committed to the idea. So I don't think it's bad to look for the shutdown, to be honest with you. That hard shove, auto Q. Like right now, you should be up on the wave, auto Q. Yep. Now pull back. You got to pull back. Wait for your rotation. Yep. Then you're going to W quickly. Don't hesitate. You're hesitating. It needs to be done fast so you can take a break. You can reset for Lost Chapter right now if you want.
Yeah. I hesitated. I think I'm too late. I think I shoved the next one. And
Try to
then go
shove.
quickly.
Yeah. Try to shove as far as they'll allow it. W the back line. Now auto each one. Yep. Now run away and Q. Run away and Q. Q the wave. That's good enough. Now reset. That's how lane should go. You should be able to clear waves quickly without interacting. Get your Lost Chapter and get your boots.
I want this ward. I think they're getting dove.
You can rotate over and get ready with your R. If you think that, rotate over.
Don't cue the wave. Don't shove it.
You could shove, but I'm saying you got to juggle a little bit, like see if it's worth rotating. This is fine to shove though. Go ahead and push it under. All right, shove. Don't. Oh God. Yeah, that's what I'm afraid of.
Yeah. I mean, in all things considered, not a bad outcome.
Oh, look at this. I would chase him in. I would chase him in. You throw your pink down, try to find him. Go to your right. Yeah, put a ward over the wall. See if he's
no cheeky hiding over there, so he's walking.
Okay, back to mid. Back to mid. You'll never catch him. Back to mid.
Tower's almost 3-1 Aatrox and 2 Akali, one of which we gave her. Well, I gave her.
Rank up your W. What's going on up top? Is there a shutdown up top? Oh yeah, there is. Walk up. Nope. It won't work. It won't work. It won't work. Mordekaiser's kind of a loser, but what are you gonna do? Let's rotate down to bottom. Look for R. Camera on it. All right, yeah. You're gonna get collapsed on by them though. Damn.
Oh yeah. Are they just like?
Yeah, they're big. They're big energy right now. All right, so since your Mordekaiser's decided that he's gonna like soft in this, I just probably surrender it at 15. We're gonna go over kind of the play pattern here for Xerath because right now, I think now that I've kind of seen what you're doing, I understand. It's all wave management related. Like your clear pattern's very messy, and so you're not able to get reliably through the early game. You should be able to get through early game. You should basically never die early in lane ever in the way that we did. And then we should be hitting big farm to be able to just stall a game. This game, for example, is probably never going to be salvageable because, you know, the Mordekaiser's kind of trolling a bit. Go ahead and shove. So let me let me explain something to you real quick, because right now you don't move with discipline yet, and that's normally the thing that I harp on with Xerath the most. I need you to really work on this tethering aspect of Xerath, because right now you're just missing the mark. And realistically, the main thing that holds those types of champions back is whether or not you are positioned appropriately when you're clearing waves. Like if I can trust you to clear a wave without being a liability. Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
So let me explain runes real quick for you. So I put you, you went with Comet, which is fine. I just wanted to see what you could do. I don't care about runes that much, to be honest, initially. But you have two options from runes from here on out, okay? So option one, you go first strike. This is the first strike page that you're looking for. The premise behind the first strike page is very simple. You're just going to scale up. That's it. You're just going to scale up and chill. And you're going to get a lot of gold off of first strike. And that's going to get you to where you want to go. Okay?
Okay.
Your options are usually going to be barrier or teleport. Barrier's better on mages in general, like the long range mages. It just is a little bit more value than heal is usually, right? Obviously barrier doesn't do shit, or it doesn't, ignite doesn't do shit to barrier. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So usually your build is going to be something like this. You're going to try to get like a mage eyes or something along the way, right? This is kind of like your ideal build. If you get here to these items fast, you've won the game. Do you understand? These three items, you get here fast, you've won. Well, spell pen boots, you've won. Now, when I'm talking about clearing the wave, let me reset this. Hold on.
I have won with those exact items. That was my only win out of like the last 10 games.
Oh yeah, if you get to those items, you're probably winning the game. Yeah, it's usually how it goes. So what I want you to understand is that when I'm talking about wave clearing, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get you to tether properly. So what you're doing, so first I'm just going to kind of show you what you're doing and then what I'm looking for. So when you're farming right now, you're doing a lot of like very lazy movements. Like the minion wave gets to you like this a lot of the time. This is unacceptable. This should like never happen. The minions bumping into you. This is why a left click is so important. You've got to treat the minions like magnets. The two positive ends of a magnet, you can't push them together, can you?
Nope.
Right, so it's the same thing here. Minions can never go near our range. Like, you see this? See this movement?
Yeah.
This is how you should always be moving. You were constantly up here. See this? You're never like backing up and moving forward. See this movement? This is your movement from now on. Look at that range. See my movement?
Yep.
I'm constantly playing back here. Obviously, like I said, I'm playing on double my sensitivity from usual, okay? So just bear with me. This is how you move. Okay? This, every time you keep walking up all the way, like you auto and then linger around. You can't do that shit. You have to immediately auto and run like you're hiding behind sandbags, is what I tell people. See that?
Because of fucking Xerath, I literally have to hide behind sandbags.
Right. You have to be this. You have to play this way. You won't take so much damage. Right?
Okay.
And you'll get better at this with practice. As you can see, I'm just doing it right now with Darkseal the same way you'd be doing it. And just practice just this. This is a simple drill. Just keep your range all the way back and get used to that. Now, in a real game, you'll be able to farm your passive like this, right? And you'll be able to practice first strike. But obviously, for the purposes of discussion, this is one of those things where you just keep fucking with it with practice tool and you'll get more comfortable with it. But notice how every time I throw an ability, I immediately run backwards. Every time. Like, there's no lag in it, you see? That's how you need to move. You need to take it very seriously, because this is going to be the thing that determines whether or not you're positioned properly. And so when I'm getting, like I tell you, I'm getting anxiety, is because that whole time in the Akali lane, every time you go to clear a wave, it would look like you were putting yourself out of position to do it.
Yep. That's how it felt.
You're not moving like this. Look at that. See my line, how I'm clicking like this all over? It's a very simple technique, but it pays dividends for you immensely. Now, like I said, my farm is trash right now. I get it. I'm bad. But at the same time, like, I haven't played Xerath in a long time, and I'm on double my mouse sensitivity. Okay, so I'm very, like, awkward at the moment. But the cool thing about the higher mouse sensitivity is you can kind of, like, move a little bit more quickly. Like this, you see? That's what I'm after here when I'm criticizing. And that's basically what I'm quizzing you on as a Xerath player. This is very different than a lot of champions that I coach, okay? A lot of champions that I coach, I make sure that, like, for me, like, with a lot of champions that I coach, I don't really have to get on people about this. But unfortunately for you, you played Xerath. So everything that most players get to avoid, you don't get to avoid. If you're ranging like this constantly, you're killing us. Yeah, you're killing us. Also, it just sucks for your E too. You want to make sure that, like, your E's always max range. I saw at points you would be, like, the wave would come up, would come down to you. And instead of, like, the way you're supposed to receive the wave, you're not supposed to receive it like this. It's supposed to go here. You understand?
Yeah, and
you're worried about tower damage. I don't give a fuck about tower damage, man. At least not yet. You gotta look at what you're sacrificing first. You understand?
So for this game, focus on the farm. Make sure I hit the Qs, max range, move forward
like a straight line.
Yep.
Real obsessively stupid. Like you never... like basically every time you do it wrong, you're coloring outside the lines, right? You've got a coloring book. You want it to be nice and neat, right? You don't want somebody to look at your coloring book and be like, wow, this guy's fucked up. Can't color inside the lines. That's basically what I'm looking at. I mean, and I mean it. That's the emphasis of all my attention for Xerath, Lux, anybody that plays Poke Mages Mid. The first thing I do is I see, does this person actually know how to position properly? Because once you get through that stage, we go through mid game, then I start correcting you on why are you moving that way, right? Like, don't you see that this is a threat? This is a threat, whatever, right? But as a rule, everybody that you face, every time you trade with somebody, you should always be running straight away from them like magnets, similar charges. Okay, so let's take a peek here at what you're doing in this game. So I'm gonna really nitpick and just random game here, and I'm gonna show you positionally what I'm talking about, okay?
Okay.
Because I'm sure you're gonna make the mistakes all over on this. So let's skip ahead. So you're facing Yasuo, kind of tough lane. Easy to fuck up. Well, later, I mean, not early. You see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, just making sure.
You're level 1, me next to Yasuo.
Yeah.
This Yasuo, I don't think he ever kills the 1v1, but I still lose this game.
He should be eating a W every time. Like right now, he's not getting any Ws. And he even moves off of the minions. So he is like there. He's moving off the minions. This should be a W. If he's standing here, it should be a W. Basically, you should be just laying into him. Obviously, I told you we're going to go first strike eventually too. That'll give us more gold. So you remember, the point of the first strike is just about getting to your items. The 3 that I showed you.
Yep.
Because you get 3 items, you're going to be God mode. Smurfing on kids. You see how you're autoing, but you're like min range with it all the time?
And that Q, like, it just...
See how you're tanking? Look how much health we lose just off of positioning. Look how you're standing. Right now, you should be here. You're looking to like trade, but you don't have to. All you have to do right now is just wait out the wind wall.
And why the fuck did I just, like...
You see?
Why did I just step to the left? What the fuck is the point of that?
You see what I would be... Where I'd literally be standing right here.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would still pressure him. I would be moving like this. A bunch. Right? I would do this. But like for you, the problem is the way you're positioning is just so high risk. Next to your tower, I think is fine. But you see how your movement, when you look at your Xerath, like you're constantly doing this shit? I call it noodly movement.
Yep.
I want this.
you're gonna motherfuck me the second I do it, and I know I'm gonna fuck it up too.
Yeah, this right here is every time you do that, you get closer to the wave. You see that? And you're not giving yourself a buffer. Because you can do everything you're doing while moving forward and back. There's no difference. Now, big reason your health is so low, you saw the positioning. You reset, you TP forward. I don't mind this. Look where you're standing. Watch. Right now, you have a Q coming up. You could be autoing the wave standing right here.
Yep, that's what I was thinking.
Yep. So it's basically, again, it all just rides on this line. Got it?
Yep. Now, with Yasuo specifically, I'm really bad at dodging Qs of E's from him.
Well, yeah, this will help though immensely, because then all you have to do is wait until he has his knock up. So if you're moving correctly,
and then back off, right?
No, I mean, yes, but what I'm saying is if you move like this, you just wait till he throws it and just do this.
Okay.
And then go right back into this.
Okay.
That's all it is. Like, it's just coming up with a way to... you think of it like... you watch basketball at all?
A little bit. I mean,
All right, so, I mean, yeah, enough for this metaphor to sink in. So here's your basketball bucket, right? And here's your hoop, okay? So when a guy goes... Like, if you're watching the NBA and a guy... This is the free throw line, right? And this is the basket. When a guy goes to shoot a free throw, he shoots here every time, doesn't he?
Yes.
He doesn't shoot arbitrarily all over here, does he?
Nope.
Right. Do you see where I'm going with this?
Yeah.
It's the same thing here. You want to create the most repeatable pattern for your movement in this game so that every time... That's why I said I wasn't warmed up on the auto attacking with the higher sensitivity. It's because I literally do this, dude. Like, I literally move just like this when I farm. Like, it's not a joke.
Well,
So,
and then it...
Yeah.
And then it disengages brain function to moving, and it engages brain function on looking at the map. Because if I've done this movement 7,000 times, now I can focus.
Right? Yeah. Because here's the thing too, is because you also, as a newer player, you get in your own head as well. Because what happens is you start thinking like, oh, you overcomplicate lane phase, right? And I'm telling you that no matter what champion you bump into, this is a pattern that's completely repeatable into whatever the fuck, right? It just doesn't matter. Okay. Range champ, like, it just doesn't matter, because if it's a Lux, you would still do the same thing. You just move with the understanding that, like, when I get about here, she might throw an ability at me, so I might have to like fake a bit. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't really it just doesn't change. And people get in their own head because they're like, well, I gotta get it up here, and nah, you just gotta move like this. And I think that's kind of like pulling the curtain back on the magic trick, so to speak. It's the same thing. I mean, literally, I could pull up like, let me see. Hold on. Watch this. You'll see a perfect example. Okay, this is old replay, 2009. Okay, do you see this? Watch his movement. You see how he's like on the line? Look.
Yep. Right outside of his Q range. Yeah,
just watch that. This is old, by the way. This is like 2019. You know, this is kind of where I got this movement pattern from, because I used to play Twisted. The first time I made Challenger was with Twisted Fate. So I studied this guy a lot, and Dopa's regarded as like king shit positionally, right? Macro wise, he's the man. So if you notice, you see his movement patterns are very much just look at how even when the wave's under tower, he's not like he's pressuring, but like he's never getting that close, if that makes sense. See how when Yasuo, you see that? Very important detail. Watch it slow-mo, okay? Watch it slow-mo. Watch. See?
Instantly right back.
Right. See how he's tethering that? That's what I want with Xerath. Is I want you constantly aware of your spacing and what the punishment is. Some pretty whack farming by him, which is rare. But you see how every time he autos, did you see that again? This is literally what I showed you. Verbatim, watch. Watch how he moves. Even though there's no threat. He has no threat here, watch. See that?
Instantly walks back.
Instant, right? The auto goes here, and he goes like that. Even though, again, there's no threat at all, right? There's no threat. I mean, yes, there is minion aggro, I guess, but my point is, I mean, even for that, right? It helps against minion aggro. So this whole thing is about making you understand that, you know, this stuff is very, very, very punishing. And it's all, you know, it's all about hitting big farm and not dying. Big farm and not dying. Remember that. So like if I, you know, let's see, Challenger, Xerath, we'll just say, I'll just go Challenger Xerath, and I'll just pull up straight up like the last week or something, right? So you'll see Xerath, right? It's a Giga Xerath, right? This guy goes legendary, right? This is a serious Xerath. I want you to watch what I'm talking about movement-wise. So here's your Dark Harvest. This is the other thing, right? Like I told you, Dark Harvest is like the other option.
Okay.
You do this if you're trying to kill motherfuckers, basically. If you're really confident in your laning. Right? You're gonna see how this guy moves to control lanes as the game goes on. Now here he's obviously he's a lot more confident of a player because he knows the limits of Katarina really well. Right? He's gonna poke the shit out of this guy and try to kill him. That's what Dark Harvest is for. Like he wants his Dark Harvest stacks.
And level 1 Katarina is the weakest.
Very, very useless. Watch his positioning and how he always is moving exactly up. Am I Challenger Xerath? Yeah. No. Right? Just watch. See that movement?
Just every time he leaves.
Right. See it. Just watch. It's not like I consulted with this guy before I started coaching. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're going to see it. Watch. If Katarina moves up, you're going to see his movement. See that?
Yep. Just on the edge of her path.
Right there. Right. That's what I'm saying. And this is what you're looking for, is you're just constantly aware. See, he'll back straight up if he thinks she's going to jump in. He never goes near her. He'll pressure her. He'll stay on her, but he'll never go near her on purpose. Unless, oh, here he might because he thinks he wins, probably. So here he's tanking the wave because he has the lead. This is very different than your scenario, right?
Right.
He knows he can, basically he knows that he can,
well, if she walks up on him, she's a third health. All he has to do is into ability.
So he's freezing it, and she has no choice but to come back in, right? She feels like she has to. So Katarina's a really shit spot there, right? He really needs like a jungler to like push this in or something. Because what this guy's gonna do is he's gonna just terrorize her now. He has two pots, so he's shitting on her. You see this?
Mm-hmm. And her refillable is gone.
Right. I mean, she's just in a really shit spot. Really shit. And you see how he's just guarding the minion. He's just being a mega asshole about it. So what he's going to do now is, because he's got her on the ropes, he's going to slow push from here, right? And what he's going to do is he's going to slow push this wave in, and he's going to try to kill her under tower.
While she's distracted by getting farmed. So
right. He's going to try to kill her right here, 100%. And he's probably not going to use mana if he has a brain, because he knows that, oh, well, I guess he is going to use mana. Maybe he thinks she backs. Her backing there. Yeah, see, that's a bad... It's funny because I could even coach this guy, right? He's Challenger, right? Look, his Q's bad because he thinks she's going to back. She's never going to lose. She's never going to back. You understand?
Yeah,
she's never basing. She's going to fake it running off the wave. So he shoves and wastes mana. See that?
Yeah.
All he has to do is just auto. It's just like a little detail. He probably didn't realize it in the moment because he probably just, you know, got off a sync, right? Desynced a little bit. But she's never basing. Because if she bases here, she just loses so much, right? Because she knows if she bases and he does this, she loses everything. See that? That's why she can't back. It's impossible for her to back. And Katarina players are generally pretty confident in their dodging, right? So he's going to try to survive it under tower. Like, he's just going to try to survive the abuse.
Well, and not to mention, he's against Xerath. As soon as anybody comes by, I mean, there's an opportunity for it.
Right, yeah, exactly. So lots of little mind games there. Like I said, this is why Katarina player probably feels pretty confident about dodging. Right, it's not like the Xerath has a sure thing. But yeah, the Katarina was in a shit spot. The Xerath's going to probably push one more in, and then he's going to base. And the reason why he's going to base is because he just doesn't have enough mana to really pressure, and then he probably feels threatened, like he'll throw, right? So he's going to press B here. Usually. And maybe he sees something here that he roams to or something, gets a lucky kill, but usually he'll back there. So he sees roam.
I mean, he's challenger and I'm not, but I don't see the point of that whole movement back and forth.
What, like, between going bottom there?
Yeah, wouldn't he have been better off to just back?
Well, the idea is in higher elo, I'll tell you why they do this more in higher elo. I teach to play systematic and lower elo, and what he's doing in higher elo totally scans with me, because in higher elo you can actually, like, if you get your team a lead, they will do stuff, right? It's high elo, right? So yeah, if you see action below you in bottom river, and you know all you have to do is run over and queue somebody, and either you get your teammate a kill or you a kill, it's worth the risk, because you're not always going to 1v9 at this level. You're just not. Right. At lower elo though, it's all about systems, which is why when players start to roam around, I go, don't just fucking stay there, right? Because you don't need to do anything fancy. You just need to get, like, look at his farm here. You just need to hit your farm mostly. If you first, you saw how good this guy was at pressuring the Katarina under tower, right? The main thing though is understanding that he's doing that while hitting his farm.
He's 50 farm at 545, and that's,
right, and he pressured the whole way. You saw it. He pressured the whole way through.
But it didn't look like he did anything crazy or fancy. He wasn't pulling some insane cues. He was just hitting his abilities and hitting his auto attacks on the wave and moving away. Right,
just like I showed you, right? It's the same. Yeah. It's the same premise here. Now, once he has chapter, just like I told you, he's going to start just kind of not interacting anymore with Katarina, okay? That's good. That's just going to end soon. He was looking for an ult. He's going to just stop interacting. The reason why is because he knows that he can't really just, like, outplay her very often, right? So he's just eventually going to just start blasting the wave and saying, fuck it. He might do something more nuanced because he's trying to set up a gank, right? Or he just thinks that he can kill her more often. But usually you're going to see a lot of that. Maybe he's waiting for this Q, like the level 7 Q. It looks like he's still taking it kind of slow, right? He doesn't want to just go into shove mode yet. I would usually for low elo, I would just start shoving. But maybe maybe this is just like, you see what I mean? He's challenger. You said challenger. I'm not challenger. I'm not as well with Xerath, right? Maybe here he just finds that he gets more value by just playing it slow for now instead of just shoving into her. Maybe he's just more confident in his game to where he figures that he could terrorize the Katarina a bit longer. Usually, I would just emphasize just getting farm and ignoring lane phase here at this point. But, you know, maybe he just feels comfortable here, right? Maybe he wants to make it hard for her to actually farm. See? So he's taking it slow. He's got her low health. Still taking it pretty slow. Now he's going to push because she's low. And, you know, another part of that could be he doesn't want to shove and have her, like, try to freeze it or something on the other side. Right. And if she's full health, she might do that too. Does that make sense?
Yeah, because she can tank. You know,
he can't walk up. She can walk up. He can't walk up like she can. Does that make sense? He can't go past half very easily. So maybe that's just part of it.
She will kill him. Even
he's facing a Talon. That's what it was. That's why he didn't want to just blast the wave. He's facing a Talon. He didn't want to get frozen on, so he made sure she was poked down first. Then he goes for the shove, right? So that he's not going to freeze it when she's really low health anymore. And then he can roam. This roam's kind of crazy, but I think he saw Talon bottom. I didn't see what he saw, but if he sees Talon bottom, yeah, that's why. Because he can't feel confident roaming knowing where Talon is, or without knowing where Talon is. And like I said, going into this, you don't have to do fancy, you don't have to fight around the map to begin with, right? You just have to get your farm to start with, and then in the mid game, just kind of clear the wave, relax, and then play it from there. Does this make sense though, what I'm trying to show you?
Yeah.